Oh, hi. I was just reading. If you're noticing it looks a little bit different where I'm sitting, it's because I've rearranged the room. Today's lesson is actually going to be on... Where's my blackboard? 1 second. Where in the world? Oh, ouch. Today's lesson is going to be on... form. As always, the first thing I'm going to talk about is what form is in music. Then the next thing I'm going to do is give us some examples of songs, and we're going to find out what the form is for each of those. And last, I'm going to give us some examples of different types of music and what kinds of forms they usually follow. And for the first time in my new area, let's hit the intro. Music form is like the big picture of a piece or a song. I like to think of form as the map of a song, where the song goes. The form of a song comes down to the parts that make up that song. A song can start with one part. It can repeat the same part again. Sometimes a song has different parts. Sometimes a song has a part that is similar to the first few parts, but is a little bit different. These are the parts that make up the song, and so the entire thing is the form, the order of parts that are same and different, the map of the song. Some of the ways that parts can be different or the same are the words of the lyrics, the melody and the harmony, or the beat and the rhythm. So let's get started with a song. The most common way to label the parts of a song's form are by using letters. And now letters... No, not letters like you mail a letter. Letters like the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. We only need like 3 or 4 letters anyway, so that should be fine. Let's start with a song that everybody knows, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Let's use letters to work through the form together. Each new part, we're going to give a new letter, and we'll see where those parts repeat.
Well, hello, Mr. Geer. It's Mr. Owl. I wanted to know if I could help you with the form of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's one of my favorite songs.
All right, yeah, why not? We'll take some help. What's the first part of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's the first part, Mr. Geer.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay, that's the first section. The first section we're going to call A. Alright, A. Alright, what's next?
Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Mr. Geer, that was a different part. It has different words, and the notes and the rhythm are a little bit different. Are we going to give it the same letter?
So no, that's a different part, so we can't call it A. We're going to call it B. Alright, let's see what's next.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Wait a minute, Mr. Geer. That's the same thing as the first part. If it's the same part, should we call that A?
You got it. Same exact thing. So we're going to call that section A. A again. Let's do it together. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So the form of this song is A, B, A. The first section repeats at the end. ABA form is one of the most common types of forms in music. It begins with an A section, goes to a B section with new material, and then returns to the A section, which is the same as the first. Now that we've got our foot in the door by labeling the parts of a song using letters. No, not letters. Now that we've got our foot in the door by labeling parts of a song's form using letters, let's move on to something a little bit more complicated.
Honey?
Yes, Mrs. Geer?
What's the weather like tomorrow?
One second. Weather. It's gonna snow. It's gonna snow in April.
Thanks.
Alright, let's do Jingle Bells. That is the first section of music of Jingle Bells. We're gonna call that the A section. Oh. Okay, so one thing to note about that A section is that it ends on a dominant note. It makes you feel like there's going to be more song, and there is going to be. So let's see what's next. This next section is peculiarly similar. This next section is suspiciously similar to our first section. However, the last part doesn't end on a dominant note. So the words are the same, the rhythm's the same, and the melody is almost the same. But the ending's different. Dominant. Tonic. It ends on tonic. It feels at rest. So what do we call it? It's not B section because it's kind of like the A section. We call it A prime. A prime. A, and you put this little mark at the top called prime. Now the song isn't over yet. We still have one more section. Let's listen. Here we go. That was nothing like the first two parts. Had a different melody and had different words throughout the whole thing, so we're gonna call that B section. Let's see what's next. A and A prime come right after the B section. This song is almost like an ABA. The only difference is that it has an A prime, a B, and then A prime again. Remember, prime just means a section that's kinda like the other part, but slightly different, and that is the form of the very famous Christmas song, Jingle Bells. Happy April, everyone. And now for a segment I like to call the lightning round. Hit the sound effect. Alright, well, I'm gonna give you the name of a bunch of different kinds of forms, and I'm gonna give you some examples of music that use this form regularly. Call and response form. Call and response form is where one person or instrument plays or sings a melody, and then another person or instrument plays the same melody back. Round form. Round form in music is where one group, instrument, or person sings a melody, then another group, person, or instrument plays or sings the same melody starting at a different time. Hit the button. Theme and variation. Theme and variation form starts with one melody called the theme. In this case, it's the red flower. Then the composer will use that theme to create variations, new sections of music that are almost like that first theme, but slightly different. In this case, it would be all the different colored flowers. Rondo form. Rondo form has a section that comes back after new sections. In this case, it would be blue, brown, blue, pink, blue, white. In music, we'd call that A, B, A, C, A, D. A repeating section comes in between new sections. I'd say rondo form is the closest form that most musicians still use today. Now, modern musicians don't usually call them A, B, A, C, A, D. They say verse, chorus, different verse, same exact chorus, bridge, same exact chorus. That chorus is the repeating A section. In Stitches, it's the part where he sings stitches. In Girls Like You, it's the part where he sings Girls Like You. Or the A section that repeats in Senorita is the part where he sings Senorita, exactly the same each time. Alright, so let's do a review of all the things that we learned about Beethoven. You're actually a really good person to talk about in this one because Beethoven wasn't exactly good at melody writing. He also wasn't very good at harmony, and he wasn't exactly the best at orchestration, which means which instruments he chose. But hold on. But he was a master at form. A popular form that Beethoven and other composers used during his time was called sonata form. Something to know about sonata form in classical music is that it's not as easy to understand as some of the forms in music that we've talked about. Classical music in sonata form isn't as easy as letters like A, B, A, C, or verse, chorus, like popular music. I think this is why people like popular music, like hip-hop and rap and rock and roll, more than they like classical. Classical music is long and the forms are difficult and hard to understand. I'm gonna do a full video on sonata form. That way I can explain all of the different parts fully. Alright folks, let's do a quick review of everything that we learned in this video. Form is the map or the order of sections that are same and different in a song. The letters A, B, C, and D are used to describe the different parts. If the letter's the same, the section is the same. Different styles of music use different forms to express their ideas. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out some of the other videos, and I'll see you next time.